Wells Club. We're going to go ahead and get started with day 2 of our reading assignments. It's pretty short and sweet today. We're going to reread our story, What's for Breakfast. Then we have some designated stopping points I've created for us. We're going to sketch what you saw to come up with the main idea. And then we have our writing portion, and we'll be done for the day. I know we haven't gotten to social studies or science yet. Don't panic. We have 2 weeks, and honestly, not enough assignments to get us through a math, a science, a social studies, reading and writing every day. So we're going to start with a couple reading and math, then we'll flip to science, social studies, and we'll do some reading and math and science and social studies. All right, so if you're trying to grind it out, don't worry about it. You've got a lot of time. Take your time and enjoy your break from school, because I know during the school day it can be pretty crazy. So enjoy your time at home with your family. All right, our story from yesterday was called What's for Breakfast. Normally I'd ask you who the characters were, what do you remember? You obviously can't answer because I can't see you. So we're just going to go straight for the story. I will read it out loud to you, and then we'll stop at the designated stopping point. So make sure you have your writing utensil. That way you can sketch out your story. All right, what's for breakfast? Of course, Dad decided to blame me when he came downstairs this morning to make coffee and burn toast, and saw the mess in the kitchen and the living room. "Daniel!" I heard him from my post in the bathroom. I stood there on my toes to see what I'd look like if I were taller, brushing my teeth and wondering if I could go out the door with unbrushed hair, and without my older sister Miranda noticing. "Daniel!" I came downstairs, still wearing my pajamas, and saw a bunch of magazines on the rug by the couch, toppled over from their usual stack on the coffee table. Then I saw the bad mess in the kitchen. The jars with Miranda's baking supplies were usually lined up along the counter, but one of them was on the floor in pieces, and there was flour everywhere. Dad was standing in the middle of it, wearing half of his suit, shiny black shoes, and pressed work pants, but no shirt, and his hair was still wet from the shower. I laughed. That was a mistake. "Did you do this, funny man?" The coffee maker sounded like it was gargling mouthwash. I guess Dad wasn't so mad that he wouldn't make his job up. "No, Dad, I didn't." It was the truth, too. When I turned off the TV the night before, the magazines were still stacked. And when I got my nighttime cup of water from the kitchen, there was no flour on the floor. Really? Because we've had this problem before, with footballs and jump ropes and indoor kite flying. Dad obviously didn't believe me. "Really, Dad? I have no idea how this happened. I got some water in the middle of the night, but everything was clean then." Dad turned around and got some bread and butter and honey. The toaster sounded like it hurt when he pushed the lever down. It was old and never made toast right. I only ate toast when I slept over at other people's houses. Dad didn't really care what his toast tasted like, I guess. "I don't have time to clean this up, Daniel, and I'm mad. Go upstairs and get ready for school." Dad filled a big bowl with water. That's going to be where we come to our first stopping point, so I'm going to turn my paper for you to see. So right there is where we're going to stop. And then what you're going to do is you're going to flip ahead. Mine is still stapled. If yours is torn apart, that's okay. You're going to flip ahead, and we're going to go to this graphic organizer that says Sketch in Chunks. And where it says Stopping Point 1, that's what we're going to do. Our directions are to draw what you were picturing in your head. So right here inside of this box, you're going to draw whatever you were picturing in your head. I know they touched on the kitchen being really messy. They touched on the toaster and it not working right. They touched on burnt toast. And when they're talking about burnt toast, I know that my nose is smelling burnt toast because it's a very unique smell. So I'm actually just going to draw a picture of burnt toast. And you know Miss Wells is the world's worst artist, so bear with me here. So here's my picture of toast. It looks kind of like a t-shirt. And I'm going to shade it in a little bit with some, to show that it's burnt, because your toast is burnt. And I'm going to add some steam coming off of it. Again, Miss Wells is no artist. And your stopping point, what you're going to be doing is drawing your own picture. This one was just to get you started. And then from the next couple stopping points, I'll stop my story and show you where I stopped. And then you guys can go ahead and sketch your part independently. All right, I'm going to go back to where we left off. So again, it was on the bottom of the first page, what's for breakfast. I'm on the very last line where it says, okay. I'm going to continue. Okay, I was halfway up the stairs when Miranda's cat, Oatmeal, shot up underneath my legs. Dad, I yelled. I bet it was Oatmeal. I don't think Dad heard me, but I got dressed, and the more I thought about it, the more I just knew it had been Oatmeal. The cat always causes problems. At night, he either fights things that can't fight back, like the couch or the cabinets, or the laundry basket downstairs, or he sits in the upstairs hallway and howls, trying to get into our rooms to show off the socks he hunts and kills. He's annoying, which means he's Miranda's perfect pet. And that's our stopping point number 2, so it's on the second page. Then again, you're going to flip to your graphic organizer, and you're going to go ahead and draw what you saw or what you heard me read to you for stopping point 2. I'm not going to doodle. This part you can do on your own. And then if you need more time, you can hit pause and resume when your picture is done. And again, it's just a pencil sketch, nothing fancy. All right, picking up where we left off. Hey, bozo! Miranda came out of her room dressed in high tops and a red polka dot dress. She had some bracelets on, which, plus the dress, made her look kind of like a girl. Except that her bracelets had skulls on them and her sneakers were black. She was a weird sister. She was in 6th grade and I was in 4th. I didn't understand why she didn't dress normally. Everything had to have something black or bony on it. Your stupid cat got me in trouble, Miranda. Maybe if you hadn't set precedent so many times, you wouldn't get blamed for wrecking the house. I didn't set precedent. I didn't even know what that word meant. Precedent, dummy, and yes, you did. Every time you played ball or some other stupid game in the house. She walked past me and petted Oatmeal as he slithered toward her door. Hurry up, or I'll eat the cereal. I didn't hurry up. I put my shoes on and was silently thankful that she didn't notice my messy hair. I walked back upstairs with heavy feet and left my backpack, hit the steps behind me. That's going to be our stopping point 3. And again, you're going to go into your graphic organizer to stopping point 3 box, and you're going to sketch what you heard me read. I pictured my sister and I fighting. So you could draw some stick figures with some argument bubbles. You could draw a cat because he was talking about the cat getting him in trouble. You could draw a president, even though that wasn't technically the word, it was precedent. You could draw Daniel dragging his backpack around behind his back. All of those things will count. All right, we're going to keep going. Dad was eating his burned toast with honey and trying to mop up a gloppy mess on the floor. He did not look happy. Miranda was at the table eating a bowl of Kix. She threw one at me. I decided to skip cereal. Daniel, this is unacceptable, Dad muttered. Dad, it was Oatmeal. He went on a night rampage and did this. Miranda! Dad raised his voice. Dad, he was just being a cat. He has wild instincts. Miranda didn't even lift her head. You need to start keeping your cookie things in the pantry. They look good in the jars. Fine. They'll just have to look good in the jars in the pantry. Miranda decided not to argue. I guess because she shut up. Dad was struggling. The paper towels he was using to wipe the wet flour weren't doing a good job. He threw 2 handfuls in the trash, but there were still smears of paste on the ground and some dry flour powdering the corners of the kitchen. Dad looked at the clock on the stove and he said, Look at the time. We have to go. Then he rushed to the laundry room to put on a work shirt. Get your school stuff together and get in the car, Dad said. He huffed his way out the door. Miranda got up and went back upstairs, leaving me in the kitchen by myself. I sidestepped sticky streaks of flour on the ground and got a popsicle from the freezer. Breakfast. And that's where we're going to stop again. And my red underlines are from yesterday's vocabulary words. And you are on stopping point 4. So what you're going to do is you're on the one stopping point 3. You just turn that page over to its back. Again, mine's still stapled. If yours is not stapled, just flip it to the back. And you are drawing a picture where it says stopping point 4. And you could draw a family sitting at their dinner table. You could draw What else could you draw? A popsicle. I forgot he had a popsicle for breakfast. You could draw the countertop with the jars lined up. You could draw just a picture of a pantry or a cabinet door. Anything that you're thinking about while that part of the story was going on. And we're going to continue where we left off. So again, we are right here in our story. When I got outside, Dad was already waiting in the driveway. I got in the front seat. Take that, Miranda. And noticed some crusty flour on the back of his work jacket. I didn't say anything. He probably would just get mad. He was already mad anyway and getting angrier as he impatiently honked the horn for Miranda. She shuffled out the front door holding her lumpy backpack in front of both her arms. We pulled out and Dad turned on NPR. I hope you two pack lunch. I forgot, I said. Can I have some money? Here, take $10. Dad tossed his wallet into my lap. I looked back at Miranda. I was kind of disappointed that she hadn't gotten mad about me sitting in the front seat. Miranda, do you need money too? Dad asked. No. What did you bring for lunch? Oatmeal. That's gross, weirdo. Who eats oatmeal for lunch? I thought. If you say so, kiddo. Dad rolled his eyes. I hope you packed the instant stuff, because if you cooked oatmeal just now, it's going to get really cold and nasty. I'm going to be really annoyed that you wasted time doing that while we were waiting for you outside. Miranda just looked out the window. We didn't talk for a few minutes, and the radio droned on and on about the news. Yeah, we waited forever, I said, turning around to glare. When I did, I noticed something weird. Miranda's backpack moved. I opened my mouth to say something, but Miranda made a mean face and mouthed, Don't say anything. That's stopping point number 5. So we're on the top of the last page. And then you are going to go here to page 5. And you're going to draw a picture of whatever you saw. So I would be drawing a picture of a backpack with a cat in it, or them sitting in the car talking, or a bowl of oatmeal even. I don't know how you can eat oatmeal for lunch unless it is that instant stuff. Otherwise, it probably would be gross. Ugh. Again, if you need more time, you hit pause. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish our story. A little white paw poked out from under the flap in her bag. I turned around again. Unbelievable. How is it that I was the one who always got in trouble for what that cat did? Miranda was worse than I was. Dad pulled up to our school. Have a good day, guys, he said, and I still didn't tell him about the flour paste on his coat. I got out. Miranda didn't. I stood on the sidewalk for a moment, wondering why she was just sitting there, and then I saw oatmeal squeeze his way out of her bag, despite her struggle to keep him contained. I slammed the door shut so he wouldn't escape. I heard her shriek and my dad yell while I watched the cat tear the leather as he clawed his way under the passenger seat. Miranda! Dad's scream was muffled with all the doors closed. I could hear them arguing, and then Dad waved at me without looking and drove away. I probably should have felt a little angrier that Miranda got to be late for school, or that my dad just drove away like that. But as I was walking into the building, I could not stop smiling. All right. That is where you're going to draw your last picture. Right here. And then this box is where you're going to, in a sentence, tell me what the story was mostly about. I'm actually going to change that and have you write me a summary. So we're going to write, a summary includes the who. So I'm going to write who. You're going to fill it in, who the main person is. The next part is the where, when, or the when, where. I'll write that down. And the what happened. Again, you're telling me the main thing that happened, so I don't want to know all the little details, just the most important thing that happened in her story. And then your summary. Now, where it says summary, you can write down, I would use this part right here. It can be 1 or 2, maybe even 3 sentences, but if you don't have enough space to write everything right here, then it's too much. Remember, summary only includes the main who, the most important when where, and the most important what happened. So you're writing your summary there. Okay. And then if you need more time, obviously hit stop. But I'm going to keep rolling with the writing portion. And then we'll be done for today, even though we didn't do science and social studies. Again, we'll get to science and social studies. I need a little extra time to figure out how to plan for it since they are copied front to back, and almost everything in both packets you have to cut and glue. So I will play around with it and see what I can come up with for what you guys have at home. So don't worry about science and social studies right now. I'll figure that out and get back to you on that one. All right, so I'm going to flip ahead to your writing portion. Again, yesterday you started your plan page, hopefully. Again, where my word says opinion is where you were going to write if you think kids your age should have a smartphone or not. And then your ideas are explaining why you think that. So if you think that they should, you would say, for times like this where I could log in on my own phone and watch Miss Wells teach from her living room. Or you could say, no, they're very expensive, kids break them, it could get stolen, whatever your opinion might be. So we did our brainstorm yesterday. If you're just now tuning in, hit the pause button and make sure you fill out your brainstorm because you have to do your brainstorm before you can do today's assignment. Today's assignment, though, is right on the back of your plan page. I'm going to go ahead and turn it. It looks like this. Then again, at the top, my pen. I don't know what I did with my pen. Oh, right in front of my face. All right, at the top, there is a box where you're checking what kind of writing you're doing, and you are doing it in opinion writing. So up here, you're going to put a little check mark again. And this is where you guys tend to get a little bit confused with. The title. Your job is to come up with a title of your own writing. So why students should be able to use, or why kids should have their own smartphones, or why they shouldn't have their own smartphones. Whatever you want your title to be is fine with me. You come up with it on your own. Now, where it says topic sentence, this is a big thing. We have to come up with a way to get the reader to want to read your story. So if you start out your story with, I'm going to tell you why students should have cell phones. Nobody's going to want to read that. Nope. So we have to come up with a clever way to get our readers interested. And a way we normally do is ask a question. So this would be where I would ask you to tell me, oh, go ahead and raise your hands and tell me some questions. But again, you are watching the video. So we're going to go ahead and I'll just come up with a question and then you guys can fill in your details. A topic sentence would be for, we can just change your opinion question around that the topic was given to you. Do you think kids your age should have smartphones? So that's what I'm going to write for my topic sentence. That immediately gets somebody thinking about, do I think they should or shouldn't? So topic sentence, do you think students I'm actually going to, instead of saying, do you think kids your age, I'm going to say, do you think students in 4th grade? Because that shows your age. Should have their own smartphones. And again, that is just a way to capture your reader's interest. It's a way for them to want to keep reading instead of just saying, here's why I think. Now, where it says supporting details, you guys actually can choose 3 of the 4 that you already did, but you need to turn them into sentences. So back on your web page right here, this is where you came up with where it says idea 1, 2, 3, 4. You can choose 3 of those. Explaining why you think they should or they shouldn't. Again, it was your opinion. I'm not going to do that part for you. I will, however, do the closing sentence with you. So you're, again, for the next couple details here, you're choosing 3 of the 4 details that you chose from your web a little bit ago. And then your closing sentence. Again, your closing sentence has to be a way to kind of solidify your opinion. So your closing sentence could be, and this is why I think students should be allowed to have cell phones, or you would say, and that's why I think students should not be allowed to have smartphones in 4th grade. So it's kind of saying your sentence, your topic sentence again, but going around it. I'm not gonna make my sentence, my closing sentence. You need to, because if I make mine, it'll probably be a different opinion than yours, and I don't want you to mess it up because part of your grade is making sure it flows. So again, a good closing sentence would be if you are for students having smartphones, you would say, and that's why I believe students in fourth grade should have smartphones. If you were not thinking that, you could say, and that's why I believe students should not have smartphones. Okay, so again, it's a solid way to close out your writing. And then the next time we do reading and writing, we'll go ahead and do our rough draft. It's just a paragraph, couple sentences, and then I'll show you how to use those crazy edit marks to have somebody go in or you yourself go in with your colors and edit your paper like I would do in the classroom if I was with you. All right, and then if you have any questions, again, you can use Dojo messages. You could do Dojo, messages, not stories. You guys can't do stories. You can do Dojo messages. You can reach me at my email, nwells@hampton.k12.va.us. And then the easiest way, again, is that Google Chat I added you to. I have a couple of you already chatting me. It's really easy. You type back and forth. I can immediately respond to you. It goes straight to my phone, or if my computer's up, I can do it on the computer, so that Google Chat. All right, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.